what the actual ICA wants to examine us, what are the areas the student should keep more focus, and how to present those answers, how to write those answers. All these things will be covered in this particular video. Stay tuned. So now we are going to discuss this topic relating to our GST, so which is there in Group 1, Paper 3. This is with respect to your income tax. So this is section B, GST. Already you know that previously it was 60-40, that is income tax is for 60 marks, and whereas our GST is 40. Now it was changed to 50-50, that means now income tax is for 50 marks, whereas our GST is also for 50. So normal ones, working notes should form part of your answer. That means simply what we can say is here, without working notes, you will not get the good marks. It was straight away indicated here. Okay, got the point. See this. However, in questions in division A, working note is not required. What is there in division A here? This is division A. MCQs. That means with respect to MCQs, no detailed working is required. Okay, definitely God saved us here. And regarding this one, see this, except part A, that is division A, in rest of the cases, definitely what is required, working note is required. That means please keep focus on this word. Without working notes, you will not get a good marks. Let's say the question is asked for some 5 marks. Let us assume like that. If you write everything right, but there is no working note, max to max out of 5, only 3 marks will be given. That's why it was clearly stated here that working notes must form part of your answer in order to get the full marks. Sometimes suitable assumptions are also required. Let's say with respect to our GST, what we can say is the amount is whether is exclusive of tax or inclusive of tax, or whether the subsidy is included in the price, subsidy is excluded from the price, or if no rate of tax is given, let us assume that 9% is the CGST rate, 9% is the SGST rate, like that. Okay, those points. And definitely based on amendments, that means you need to read the updated law. That is with respect to May 2024, whatever the amendments that are there up to October 31st will be made applicable. So based on these grounds, you need to answer the questions. Okay. Now, if you observe the MCQs here, already you know that in the 50 marks of our GST, 30% is MCQs. That means 50 into 30%, it will be 15. That's why see this, for how many marks MCQs are asked here? For 15. But interestingly, if you observe our GST here, in this particular model paper, we need to wait for the second one for the sake of confirmation. If you observe here, there is only one bigger case law or case study was asked. See, it was asked here. Based on this, the questions are asked. And say this 16 to 2, 12 marks. Got it? That means only one case study was given. Based on that, 12 marks, 16 to 2, 12 marks was asked. And 2 another individual questions or independent ones. One is for 2 marks and one is for 1 mark. So that means instead of asking so many number of case studies, is actually just giving us only one case study. I think it will cover almost entire concepts of our GST. What is required for the question? Got it here. Sir, if at all this much bigger case study was given in the exam, then what is the thing we need to do? While reading the question itself, you need to analyze which chapters are actually given here. What is the thing we need to keep focus on, which topic of the chapter? Then it is easy for you to answer these lengthy case studies. It was a lengthy case study that was asked for 12 marks here. If at all this much lengthy questions are given, lengthy case studies are given, while reading the case study itself, you need to analyze which chapter this particular topic relates to, which point is actually focusing. Okay, like this. So let's say, for example, remaining things you can ignore it while reading it itself. Okay. Let's say XYZ Electronics Private Limited, a leading electronic goods manufacturer company in Delhi. Company produces wide range of products including smartphones, laptops and home appliances. Nothing is more important here except he is a manufacturer. The sales of the company is mainly through its distributors on the following credit items: laptops up to 15 days, smartphones up to 90 days, for other home appliances 45 days. Okay, it is a credit sale. It is a credit sale. That is the thing. In this way, you need to memorize or you can write. Okay. Next one. During the year, company purchased plant and machinery worth 1 crore exclusive of GST. The GST rate for such plant and machinery is 18%. The ITC on such plant and machinery is not blocked. That means which point here is keeping focus ma? ITC. Plant and machinery worth 1 crore exclusive of GST. Rate of GST is 18%. That means here which topic you need to keep focus? ITC 16 subsection 3. What is the topic with respect to 16.3? You need to remember those things. That means inclusive of GST, depreciation was claimed, no ITC. Exclusive of GST, depreciation was claimed, ITC can be claimed. That is a point you need to remember. That point should strike. ITC chapter, topic is 16.3. Okay, you need to write those things. Okay, there actually, if at all it is permissible. Next one. The company is planning to demerge its operations in relation to the laptops and other accessories from the next financial year. The demerged entity will be a separate entity. See this. That means separate. Separate legal entity means a deemed to be distinct person. Okay. When they are having the common board of directors, they are treated as related parties also. Okay. The company also participates in domestic and international level trade fairs to showcase its products and sales through those events. The Electronics Association of Rajasthan is organizing a trade fair in Jaipur. The company is keen to participate in the same. To ensure the GST compliance, the company wants to obtain GST registration as a CTP. The company obtained the GST registration as a casual taxable person in the state of Rajasthan with the validity period of 45 days. So here what is the topic ma? This is from registration chapter and section 24, compulsory registration. Like that you need to identify the question here. Okay, which chapter this particular paragraph is from, and in that particular chapter which section it is keeping the more focus. So while reading the question itself, you need to analyze that. Okay. The company transferred the goods from one of its godown in Delhi to another godown in Gujarat, wherein the company has a registered place of business. Okay. The value of the goods transferred is 5 crores and the rate of GST applicable is 18%. That means here you can observe that the stock transfer from Delhi to godown in Gujarat. Definitely what is your focus here? Deemed supply concept. 71C. We need to keep focus on these words. Okay. And the next thing is the tax invoice is issued and the GST was deposited by the company. However, the consideration has not paid by Gujarat office of the company to the Delhi office even after 180 days of invoice date. See this, 180 days of invoice date. Further, there is no reverse movement of such goods from Gujarat go down to Delhi go down. That means which topic ma this one again? This topic comes from ITC chapter. From the date of invoice within 180 days, you should make the payment to the seller. Otherwise, whatever the ITC that was previously claimed, it is needed to be reversed based on that particular topic ma. Okay, 180 days rule. Now, based on this, if you observe here, the major focus is here with respect to this. I think this topic will be based on time of supply, ITC, deemed to be registration, supply, and ITC again. Based on these points, actually the question is asked. Now we need to see the questions now. Based on the above information, choose the most appropriate answer for the following questions. What shall be the time limit to issue invoice for the supply of smartphones on the credit? Invoice shall be issued on 31st day from the date of removal of smartphone to the distributors. That means what is the question? What is the time limit to issue the invoice? So regarding this, what are the options that were given? Invoice shall be issued on 31st day from the date of removal of the smartphones to the distributor. Invoice shall be issued before or at the time of removal of smartphones. Invoice shall be issued at the time of receiving the payment. Invoice shall be issued upon the completion of the credit term. Okay. So, is it a supply of the good or a supply of service ma? It is a supply of the good. You need to analyze this. So, with respect to time of supply, what is the last date for the issue of invoice with respect to goods? When there is a physical movement of the goods is involved on or before removal. When there is no physical movement of the goods is involved on or before delivery. Here, physical movement was involved or not involved? Involved. In those cases, what is the last date? Invoice shall be issued on or before removal of smartphones to the distributors. Okay, this is the answer you should remember. On or before the date of removal. Where the word is? See, invoice shall be issued on 31st day. No. Invoice is issued before or at the time of removal. Yes, this can be the answer. At the time of receiving the payment, no. Upon the completion of the credit term, no. So what is the best answer now here? Option B. That means in order to answer this particular question, you need to remember the things. Definitely those things shall be immediately come to your mind. Okay. Okay, this is the question and how to answer that. Second question. What is the question was asked? See this? In relation to the plant and machinery purchased by the company, select the correct alternative from the following. I told you, what is the topic that is applicable here with respect to plant and machinery? See this? 16.3. What does 16.3 says? Inclusive of GST, depreciation was claimed. No ITC is allowed. Exclusive of GST, depreciation was claimed. Definitely ITC is allowed. Okay, based on that, we need to choose which one is the correct one here. ITC of 18 lakhs can be claimed and the value of the asset on which depreciation can be claimed under Income Tax Act shall be 1.18 crores. When you are claiming depreciation on 1.18 crores, ITC is not allowed. ITC can be claimed is the word that is used. This is not the correct one. ITC of 18 lakhs can be claimed and value of the asset on which depreciation can be claimed under income tax is 1 crore. Okay, you are claiming depreciation exclusive of GST. Therefore, that 18 is allowed as ITC. We'll see the next one. IDC cannot be claimed in such transaction and value of the depreciation can only be claimed on 1 crore. If at all you are not claiming the IDC, you can claim depreciation on 1.18 now. This is the wrong one. IDC of 18 lakhs can be claimed and the value on which depreciation can be claimed is 82. That means that from the 1 crore you are deducting that 18. This is also not the right approach. So answer is option B. In order this particular question, what is the thing you should have them? You should have the conceptual knowledge. There is no need to mug up the things here. But what is the thing we need to do is here, you need to keep focus on. You need to keep focus on concepts. If you are having the conceptual clarity, answering these type of questions is a cakewalk. Definitely you can do that. Okay. But further concept clarity is much required. Next question, how shall the demerged entity be treated under the provisions of GST law? The demerged entity shall be treated as a related party. Demerged entity shall be treated as a distinct entity. Demerged entity shall be treated as additional place of business of the company. Demerged entity shall be treated as a sole selling agent of the company. Okay. If you observe here, it is not a distinct person because demerged company is having a separate legal entity. That means legally it is already a separate person. Therefore, it can't be a distinct person. But the companies are having common board of directors. I highlighted those words. That's why I told you so many number of times. While reading the question itself, please keep focus on keywords. Highlight them, at least by pencil or something else. Okay. In those cases, it is easy to keep focus on that area in the entire paragraph. See this? In the entire that paragraph, two words are actually more important. Separate legal entity. That means it is legally a separate person. Therefore, there is no need to apply deemed to be distinct person here. Second one, common board of directors they are having. If at all you are having common board of directors, in those cases, the parties will be treated as related parties. Okay, these two words will tell you the answer for entire paragraph here. See this? Is a related party? Yes, this one. Distinct person? No. It is not an additional place of business of the company. Definitely it is a separate person. Demerged company is not a sole selling agent. Okay. So here it is not a sole selling agent also. Therefore, sorry, here na. Sole selling agent is also not. So what is the answer here now in this case ma? The demerged entity shall be treated as a related party. Majority people will be confused with distinct entity ma. So that's why I told you conceptual clarity is more important. So many number of people nowadays is actually following the fast tracks majorly. But to learn the concept, always go through the sentence format. Then only you can learn the subject. Okay, that's why conceptual clarity. So there is a possibility that people will go for distinct entity also. But distinct entity can be used only it is a part of the same organization. Here it is a demerged company and a separate one. It is having the separate legal entity. In those cases, it can't be a distinct person, but students can be little bit confused while to go for related party or to go for distinct entity. But the conceptual clarity based person, definitely what he will do ma? He will put the answer for related party and that is the right answer also. Next one. The period of retention of books of accounts relating to the period prior to the demerger under GST law is 36 months from the end of the financial year, 60 months from the end of the financial year, 72 months from the end of the financial year, 72 months from the due date of furnishing annual return for the relevant financial year. I think this is a straightforward question ma. Even though this point cannot be seen from the case study that was given. What we can say is here, this is a straightforward question here. For the retention of books of accounts, what is the time limit, ma? 72 months from the due date of furnishing annual return for the relevant financial year. Okay. Next one. Validity of GST registration as a casual taxable person in the state of Rajasthan is. What is the validity period of registration, ma? Already we highlighted those things. You can check here. What is the validity period of CDP? The time that is specified in the registration are 90 days, whichever is lower. So 45 or 90, whichever is lower, ma? 45. So what is the validity period of registration certificate here? 45 days. That is the answer. This is also a direct theory one. If at all you're able to listen to the classes properly, then definitely you are able to answer these questions. Okay. That's why listening to the classes are also important. Next one. Which of the following statement is true in relation to non-payment of consideration by the Gujarat Godown to Delhi Godown? 180 days rule. Okay. What is that 180 days rule we discussed? Generally from the date of invoice, within 180 days, we should make the payment. Otherwise, whatever the ITC that was previously taken, it is needed to be reversed. But this 180 days rule is not applicable in 3 cases. What are those 3 cases where this 180 days rule is not applicable? First one, RCM purchases. Second one, deemed supplies. And third one, supplier obligation was met by the recipient. In all these 3 cases, 180 days rule will not be applicable. Why with respect to deemed supplies, 180 days rule is not applicable? Because there is no consideration moving practically. Based on that deemed supplies, this question was there. Okay, we need to see the answer now. The Gujarat Godown shall reverse the ITC availed on the goods received from Delhi and also required to pay the interest computed from the date of invoice till the date of reversal of ITC. Is it a deemed supply or a supply? Deemed supply. With respect to deemed supply, 180 days rule applicable or not applicable? Not applicable. So, based on that, point A is the wrong answer. Gujarat Godown shall reverse the ITC availed on the goods received from the Delhi and no interest is applicable. There is no need to reverse the ITC. The restriction of 180 days for the payment of consideration is not applicable in the present case. Yes, it is a deemed supply, therefore it is not applicable. The Delhi Godown shall issue a credit note to Gujarat Godown to reverse the supply. No. Answer is option C. So this is the point you need to remember. Okay. So before answering this plus, see this 6 into 2, 12 marks, easily you will get 12 out of 12. That much easy to get good marks in our GST. So is there any difficult things here? Nothing. But while reading the question paper, while reading the case study itself, you need to analyze those things. Okay. And after that, 7th one, Tanu Associates, a Delhi dealing in garments, has added lady suits from the Sahiba Garments in Ludhiana, Punjab, which is 350 kilometers away from its warehouse. E-way bill is generated by Sahiba Garments and the order is coming by a normal cargo. For how many number of days will the e-way bill be valid from the time it is generated? See, what is the distance? These are the key things you need to keep focus. 350 kilometers away and it is a normal cargo. These are the 2 words you need to keep focus while computing the validity period of e-way bill. That means while reading the question itself, you need to highlight the keywords. So what is the validity period of e-way bill if at all it is a normal cargo? For every 200 kilometers or part thereof, 1 day validity period will be there. Here what is the distance? 350 kilometers. For 200 kilometers 1 day or part thereof 150 kilometers also 1 day. 1 plus 1, total 2 days validity period will be there. As simple as that. See? For this, straight away you will get the 2 marks mark. That much simple. Conceptual clarity. Read. That is the only solution with respect to our GST. Not only with respect to our GST. Any theory-oriented paper. Read. Practice is for your problematic part. Read, read, read until it is stored in your memory. That is the thing. Next one is PHU Limited has its registered office under Companies Act 2013 in the state of Maharashtra, from where it is ordinarily carried on its business of taxable goods. It also has a warehouse in the state of Telangana for storing the said goods. What is the place of business of PHU Limited under GST law? So here, what is meant by the word place of business? Where you are having the establishments, those places are known as place of businesses. Register office, where its register office is there, Maharashtra, and where it is having the warehouse, Telangana. Therefore, answer is both A and B. Answer C will be the answer. So, 1 mark. So, definitely you are able to get very good marks in MCQs if at all you are having the conceptual clarity. Okay. This is the way how the MCQs shall be read, understood and write in the exam. Okay. Now move to division B, descriptive questions. In that, question number 1 is compulsory. Out of 3, you need to answer any 2. As usual, last one will be a theory question. In that, one internal choice will be there. As usual, the question paper here was not changed. One external choice and one internal choice was there in previous scheme also. Under the new scheme also, one external choice was there. Out of the 3, you need to answer 2. And the last question, third question, is a pure theory one in major cases, and one internal choice will be there. Okay. Vishnu Private Limited is a registered supplier of the goods and services at Kolkata, has furnished the following information for the month of Feb. So first one is intrastate supply of taxable goods, including 1 lakh received as advance in January. The invoice for the entire sale value is issued on Feb 15th, 4 lakhs. See here, what about we need to keep focus on the word advance. And invoice Feb. Advance in January and invoice in Feb. These are the words you need to keep focus. Ignore the amounts there. That means with respect to goods, what is the concept, ma'am? When advance is there, your mind should focus on time of supply. With respect to time of supply, what is the concept, ma'am, you learned previously? The answer is simple here. At the time of receiving the advance, in relation to goods, you are not liable to pay any GST. Is it a supply of the goods or a supply of service? Supply of the goods. In that case, in the month of January, are you liable to pay GST, or in the month of Feb? In the month of Feb. Therefore, to which month you are preparing it now? With respect to Feb. Therefore, is it 1 lakh is includable or excludable? Includable. Therefore, on the entire 4 lakhs, you are liable to pay the tax. So, this topic is from time of supply. So, you need to keep focus like that. Second one, purchase of the goods from composition dealer. Purchase of the goods from composition dealer. See this. The word is from a composition dealer. If you purchase it from composition dealer, ITC is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. The keyword is composition dealer, and this one is majorly relating to ITC, I think. Okay. Next one. Services provided by way of labor contract for repairing a single residential unit, otherwise than as a part of residential complex. It is an intrastate transaction. So definitely this point is in relation to exemptions. If you observe here, if at all it is a construction work, then definitely you can get the exemption. Repairing work, definitely no exemption is there. Therefore, this topic is in relation to, this one is with respect to ITC, and this one is with respect to exemptions. So therefore, is it a taxable supply or a non-taxable supply? Definitely it is a taxable supply. Okay. The next one is membership of a club availed for employees working in the factory. It is an intrastate transaction. So I think this is the inward supply. First of all, we need to identify whether it is a outward supply or a inward supply. Sorry, outward supply or a inward supply. While reading the problem itself, identify that outward supply, inward supply, outward supply. Here, membership of a club, outward supply. While reading the problem itself, do like that. Then it is easy for you to answer later on. Membership of a club is a, sorry, it is inward supply. I just wrote like this now. It is inward supply. And on this, it is a blocked credit. ITC availed, ITC can be claimed or cannot be claimed. Cannot be claimed. Next one. GTA services received from a GTA. It is inward supply. And see this, tax rate at the rate of 12%. Tax rate at the rate of 12%. Okay. This model question is already there in our material. Okay. So, this model problem was there in our material. I think it is there in comprehensive problems or something like that. So, 100% this model is covered from our material. You can check it one in our materials, whether it can be there in ITC or it can be there in comprehensive problems. Okay, this is inward supply. But the rate of GST is 12%. That means is liable to pay tax under FCA. Next one, interstate services provided by training. Is it inward supply or outward supply? Outward supply. You need to write this like this. Okay. And next one, interstate security services provided to high school for their annual day function organized in common auditorium outside the school campus. This is a word, highlight word. Is it outward supply or inward supply? Outward supply. Inputs to be received in 4 lots, out of which second lot was received during the month. This is inward supply. But here we received only second one. ITC allowed or not allowed? Definitely ITC not allowed. So if you observe here, first divide the problem like this. What are the outward supplies and what are the inward supplies? Then definitely it will be easy for you to present. Now check the ones. This is the opening ITC that was given. And what is the thing that rates of GSTs were given? And later on, what is the question that is asked? Compute the minimum GST payable in cash. Simply the format is simple. Step 1, computation of output tax payable. Step 2, computation of ITC. Step 3, step 1 minus step 2, minimum GST payable in cash. As simple as that. You need to do the problem in such a manner. Okay, ma. So, step 1, computation of output tax payable. Step 2, computation of ITC. Step 3, minimum GST payable. That is step 1 minus step 2. That's why how to compute the step 1? See the outward supplies in this. On that, if at all it is exempted one, there is no need to pay any output tax. If at all it is not exempted one, you need to pay the output tax. Step 2, computation of ITC. See the inward supplies identified. In that, if at all it is eligible for ITC, add it to the opening ITC. If at all it is ineligible, ignore it. As simple as that. Okay. You can check the answer also. Check the answers. See this. So we need to divide it. What is the step 1 ma? Okay, this is step 1. Okay, first step 1, you need to compute the output tax payable. It is intrastate supply of taxable ones. Therefore, CGST at the rate of 9, SGST at the rate of 9, 36 and 36. Second one, labor contract for repairing a single residential unit. Otherwise, then is definitely not exempted one, taxable one. Okay. Why here? With respect to services provided by way of training in recreational activities to sports. With respect to sports, if at all it is a company, charitable trust, then only it is exempted. Here it is not a charitable trust now, that's why it is taxable, being interstate IGST. And interstate security services provided to Bharat High School, which is outside the scope of school premises. Okay, in that case, this is output tax payable. Step 1, same question is there in our masterminds material, comprehensive problems. That's why so many number of times I told you that please read the questions that are given in the material, whether it is a self-practice or a assignment or a CRT. Okay. And what is step 2? Say this working note should form part of your answer, even though it should not be this much lengthy, but definitely working note must be there. Whether it is tax, this is step 2. See this. Step 2, computation of IDC. For opening IDC, any purchases related IDC, if it all it is eligible to be added, ineligible we should ignore. See, purchase of goods from composition dealer, no IDC, because the amount will not be collected. Membership of a club, blocked credits, no IDC. GTA, IDC is allowed. And inputs received in lots, but it is only the second one, you can claim the IDC upon the receipt of last one. Therefore, no IDC. This is step 2. What is step 3? Step 1 minus step 2. Okay. So this is step 2. Now the next thing is we need to see step 3. That is what the step 3 deals with. Step 1 minus step 2. That is, see this is output tax payable and this is ITC. So this is the way how the things will be done. So if at all any question was asked in the exam, this is the way you need to answer. Okay, that means before answer the question, if at all the problem was this much lengthy, okay, you need to segregate that. What are the outward supplies and what are the inward supplies? Almost half of the question is solved at this stage only. If you are able to do that. Okay, see the second one. So with respect to the second one, Gulati Limited, a registered supplier in Mumbai, Maharashtra, has supplied the goods to Mridil Traders and Kalu Motors Limited, located in Ahmedabad, Gujarat and Pune, Maharashtra respectively. Gulati Limited has furnished the following details in the current month. Particulars, Mridil Traders and Kalu Motors regarding this. Price of the goods, packing charges, commission, weighment charges, discount, items relating to 2 to 5 has not been considered. That means those adjustments are not considered while arriving at the price. Compute the GST liability. Okay, assuming the rates of taxes are this much and make the suitable assumptions wherever necessary. Here the point is, Mridil Traders, Kalu Motors, if you observe this, two sellers, who is the supplier? First you need to identify in this case, who is the supplier? This one is the supplier. And who is the recipient? Mridil Traders and Kalu Motors. Where is location? Just right there. Maharashtra, and this fellow is there in, this person is there in Gujarat, and this person is there in Maharashtra. And regarding this, what is the position mark? What is the price of the goods? 10,000. First we will see the Mridil Traders. Packing charges. In this case, you need to keep focus on section 15, value of supply. Packing charges includable, commission includable, thereby the total taxable value is 11,000. Being interstate supply, where is the LOS? Maharashtra. Where is the POS? Gujarat. Interstate supply, IGST is needed to be paid. Basic level question mark. When value of supply, the basic level question. The chapter mixed is here, value of supply and in supply, types of supplies, whether it is intrastate or interstate. Okay. And see the second one, price, what is the price? 30,000, weighment charges, incidental expenses up to the stage of delivery, includable, discount excludable. Thereby, the taxable value will be 30 plus 2 minus 1, 31,000. Where is the LOS? Maharashtra. And where is the POS? Maharashtra. Intrastate supply, therefore CGST and SGST is needed to be paid. And for this you need to write the working notes. That is a very, very basic level question that was asked in the exam. See this? See the value of supplies? So like this. Okay. And further you need to write the working notes. So writing the working notes is mandatory. Then only you will get a full marks. Understood the topic? Okay. And see the second question. So second question is 6 plus 4 format mark, 2A for 6 marks, 2A for 4 and 2B for 6 marks here. North Services Limited, registered under GST, is engaged in providing various services to the government. The company provides the following information in respect of services. Here, various services to government. That means services provided to government is more important. Even in the class also, I put importance on this. Some cases it is taxable under FCM. Some cases it is taxable under RCM. Some cases it is exempted also. That's why the main focus is here, exemptions and RCM. Okay. Supply of manpower for cleanliness of the roads not involving any supply of the goods. That means it is a pure labor contract. If at all it is a pure labor contract, you need to check the exemptions. So pure services, pure labor services provided to government are exempt. So that's why it is exempt. It is exempted supply. Next one, services provided by fair price shops, that is nothing but ration shops, owned by the North Services Limited by way of sale of sugar under PDS, public distribution system, against the consideration in the form of commission. I think this ration shops is also exempt. That means exemptions chapter is the main focus here. Exemptions to government is the main focus. Next one, services of maintenance of street lights in a municipal area, replacement of defect lights and other spares along with the maintenance. Generally, the replacements constitute 35% of the supply of service. Definitely, it is taxable because you will get the exemption if at all the goods value does not exceed 25%. Here it is 35%, therefore it is taxable. Next one. Services by the brochure distribution provided under a training program for which 70% of the total expenditure is borne by government. 75 is exempt. So purely exemptions chapter, that's why if at all you are able to recollect your exemptions related points, definitely it is easy to answer. There is no tricky ones. Direct exemptions were given. If at all you are able to recollect, that's why reading and listening to the class in the theory class is more important. You can check the answers also. See this, exempt, pure labor service, fair price shops, exempt, street lights, more than 25% taxable, expenditure, more than 75 is exempt, but it is 70 only, therefore it is taxable. As simple as that, but you need to write these working notes. These working notes are compulsory to get the full marks. Okay. What is the next one now? Mr. Shub, director of the Star Company Private Limited, provided services to the company for the remuneration of 1,25,000. Briefly answer whether the GST is applicable in the below mentioned independent cases. If yes, who is liable to pay the GST? The question is here whether FCM or RCM. Whether GST is applicable, whether FCM or RCM. That is the focus here. Okay. First one, Mr. Shub is an independent director. Highlight the word independent director. Okay. And not an employee. If at all he is not an employee, In that case, GST is applicable or not applicable? Applicable. And directed to companies covered under RCM. Therefore, Star Company Private Limited is liable to pay the GST. Straight one, no difficulty. Second one, Mr. Shub is an executive director, an employee of Star Company Private Limited. Out of the total remuneration amounting to 1,25,000, 60,000 has been declared as the salaries in the books of Star Company Private Limited and subjected to TDS under 192 of Income Tax Act. However, 65,000 has been declared separately other than salary and subject to TDS under section 194J. This point also we focused more times. If TDS is going to be deducted as per 192, then it comes under salaries, no GST. Therefore, on the 60,000, no GST. 65,000, 194J. On that, definitely GST is applicable under RCM. Straightforward question. And so here, this one is not a direct theory question. You need to apply the analysis there. First one, facts of the case, what is given in the question you need to write. And the second one, what the law says, you need to specify. See this, I will show you the answer. This one. Generally, provisions of law, these things are. What is there in the Act? Provision of law. You need to write, not this much lengthy way, and after that, this is the conclusion based on that. This is the analysis and this is the conclusion. Okay. Analysis and conclusion. So first you need to write facts of the case also, if at all time is permissible. And after that, what is stated in the Act, you need to write that, and later on, analysis and conclusion. If any analytical question is asked, this is a way how to write the answer. Okay. First one, what is stated in the Act regarding that particular thing, you need to specify. And after that, you need to analyze the question that is given. And based on the law, you need to state your conclusion. This is the thing you need to do. Okay, ma'am. And third question here. Examine whether the supplier of the goods is liable to get registered in the following independent cases. That means whether registration is required or not is the question. Okay. Om Sai Builders of Rohini, Delhi is exclusively engaged in the intrastate supply of taxable of building bricks. If at all it is a building bricks, what is the position, ma'am? If at all it is a building bricks, then even though he is a supplier of the goods, the limit will be reduced to 20. Therefore, what is the turnover? 23. Liable or not liable? Liable. Next one. Humkum Chand of Himachal Pradesh is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of footwear. Its turnover in the current financial year from the Himachal Pradesh showroom. Himachal Pradesh is 32. From Nagaland, it is 11. Now, what is the answer for this? Definitely, what is the answer here, ma'am? If one of the place of businesses are there in special category states, automatically the limit will be reduced to 10. In that case, the limit of 10 was exceeded now. Therefore, is it required or not required? Required to take the registration in both Himachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Okay, this is 3A. Here also the point remains the same. Got it, ma'am? Provision of law and analysis. Okay, you can check it once here. See. This is provisions of law with respect to registration. What section 22 says? See. Up to this point is provisions of law. With respect to section 22, what 22 is saying? Based on that, this is analysis and conclusion for each one. This is analysis and conclusion. This is with respect to second one, analysis and conclusion. See this. And this is what is stated in 22. This is the way how to write the things in the exam. First, provisions of law. After that, analysis and conclusion. 3B. Mr. Mehta is engaged in the business of trading of books, is eligible for composition scheme and opted for the scheme. Okay. He seeks your advice for the records which are not required to be maintained by him as a composition taxable person. This is a straight theory equation. That's why so many times I advised you. If at all it is a pure theory chapter, then definitely sometimes reading straight the things in the books is also more than sufficient. So this is a straightforward theory equation ma. So here see nothing logical here, pure theory equation. That means in the exam pure theory equations can also be asked. Pure theory equation from accounts and records chapter. Okay. Next one, see this fourth question. With respect to fourth question, one internal choice is there. Majorly it is a theory equation. First one, event management company provided services for organizing sports event for a sports federation which is held in multiple states. What would be the place of supply of the services in this case? It is an event management service ma. With respect to event management service, with respect to this event provided to a B2B supply, then registered place. If it already is a B2C, in that case, what is the position ma? Definitely where that particular event is held. And if it is provided in multiple states and the consolidated amount is given, then agreement is there. Based on that agreement, if no agreement based on the events number of days or something like that, we need to divide the amount. It is a pure theory equation. Second one, taxability of the shares held in a subsidiary company by holding company, it is an amendment. Based on amendments also, so the questions can be asked. That's why I told you amendments are more important. Direct theory equation. How a return can be revised after filing the same if some changes are required to be made. It is from returns chapter. There is no concept of revision of return in our GST. Definitely we can do that by using amendment tables. Check the fourth one. See this. With respect to place of supply, direct theory equation. Direct theory equation. Okay. And see this. Second one. This is amendment. Purely based on amendment it was asked. And third one with respect to returns. What is the maximum time limit? Because in this also amendment is there. With respect to rectification. That's why it was asked by using amendment tables. So if you observe this, what comes to your mind mark? Check the question paper here. It is at least 10 marks. These 10 marks are theory equations, direct theory equations. And in this, 5 marks is also a direct theory equation. In the total 35 marks, 15 marks are direct theory equations mark, 20 marks are analytical. That means theory is also at most important with respect to our GST. Therefore, presentation is also important. So that is the thing you need to remember with respect to our GST model paper that is released by ICA. With respect to MCQs, one lengthy case study is going to be given. I'm not saying that it will happen like that, but there is 100% possibility that it can be done in such a manner which is there in MTPs. So lengthy case study can be asked, and based on amendments are focused, and in the same way theory is important. In the out of 35 marks, 15 marks were asked is with respect to theory. So that's why theory is also important. So getting 50 out of 50, 40 is a cakewalk because the question papers are easy. If you are having the conceptual clarity, which chapters you keep more focus on analytical ones, which chapters you need to keep more focus on theory. For that, please refer the Masterminds channel. Any updates regarding which chapters are important from the examination point of view, where theory is important, from which chapter, from which chapter analytical questions are important. For this, definitely we will make a video, and if you want to refer the old videos, they are also available in our Masterminds channel. check it once. Stay tuned for the remaining updates.